the first to know in Nsem-Pii TV.
26th of August, they say NPP amanyukuo no betimi akwa akoto aba na one etimi nipa a one ebetimi etu franka de ama NPP amanyukuo na so far the yakwa akoto no 26 no they say nipa 10 no na yakwa akosone so na yetimi eyi enum de ato nchen na yetimi eyi enum a enum no nso ebetimi akwa akosone so na yetimi eyi baako na eno na power atom ochere etimi the research bi etimi ababetu dwa na yehwa NPP MPs a won etimi ewo parliament 137 ade say won so ebetimi akwa akoto abane bi na won so etimi nipa a obedi NPP amanyukuo no anim na eno na power atom ochere ade atudwa say this 137 MPC ade say obia ewo nipa kro a obetimi ato aba amano na per research no 137 no hwan mo na one ebetimi ato aba ede amomo yenkoni enkotie Paul adom ochere.
It's about party. As far as its rules are concerned, they always have to elect a flag bearer. When they are in power, they elect the flag bearer not more than 12 months before the next election. When they are not in power, they elect the flag bearer 24 months before the next election. So the flag bearer election has to be taken at least 1 year before December 7th, 2024. As we understand it, that election will occur in November. But there's one layer to cross before we get there. As far as the new Patriotic Party rules are concerned, and this came about as a result of the 2007 debacle, if you like. In 2007, 17 members of the new Patriotic Party, 17 senior members of the party, challenged, as it was then, Nana Akufo-Addo, the obvious front runner, as he then was, in what was a feisty Congress, which had Nana Akufo-Addo and Allan ready to go into the second round, and Allan conceded defeat to Nana Akufo-Addo, and Nana Akufo-Addo became the elected MPP flag bearer without a second round occurring. After that, the MPP people sat together and felt that they needed something to change here. So they needed to change the number of people who attend the Congress, not attend to vote, but attend to present themselves. Okay, so they decided that 5 is enough. 5 is a maximum number that you can deal with. Therefore, at any point in time in the future, when their delegates list or their aspirant list is more than 5, they will hold a mini Congress. And in the mini Congress, not all the people will vote. So in the MPP Congress, as it is now with the NDC, it didn't used to be, the MPP Congress, the people who are voting are the polling station executives. There are 38,000 polling stations across the country. So that brings the number to something like 200,000 and over. 38,000 polling station executives, regional chairmen, regional executives, members of parliament, former ministers if they are not in power, ministers if they are in power, a former president if they are not in power, presidents when they are in power. All of those people make the number 200,000 and over. Now, the superdelegates, can you give me that? Bring it. Yeah. Hold on, viewers. Hold on. Don't go. Hold on. Okay. Yes. All right. Sorry. Okay, we are back. So, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you. The superdelegates are about a little over 1,000. Now, who are the superdelegates? They are going to make the decision of who comes into the last 5. So we know that list of 10 of the NPP members. I don't know whether they still have it, but we know we can run through it. It's Dr. Bawumia-Paul, Nsem-Pii, Kennedy Japan, Usufria Koto, Kwabene Japan, Boache Jako, Opoku. Remind me, Michael. I said Boache Jako. I've said Kwabene Japan already. Adainimo, thank you very much. And who else? Usufria Koto. I've said that already. Okay, well, you know them. You
said Joe Garte.
Yeah. Who?
Joe Garte.
Joe Garte, very important. I didn't mention Joe Garte. Joe Garte is part of it as well. Okay, so that's it. They have 10. So they are now going to select in Parliament, well, not in Parliament, they are going to select for the super delegates. They are going to reduce the number to 5. The people who are voting in the super delegates are very, very strategic. So it includes all the 137 members of Parliament, and it includes all ministers. And it also includes the president, the vice president, and the chief of staff. Okay. Tonight, we're going to share with you our idea from what we have picked up on our research, and we may be wrong. I mean, this is very subjective. We may be wrong. But we'll tell you why we say this person is going to vote for that person. We'll explain to you. And then you can send a text and tell us what you think. So we begin with the logo of the New Patriotic Party, blue, white, and red. And then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the president. He has a vote in the super delegates. We're talking about the super delegates events occurring on the 26th of August. He has said that he's not supporting any particular candidate. We therefore do not know. We cannot fathom who he's going to vote for, but we know that he's going to cast a vote, but we don't know who he's going to vote for. So Akufo-Addo away. Dr. Bawumia is going to vote for Dr. Bawumia. We know that already. So Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia will vote for Dr. Bawumia. I wanted to start with the MPs, but I guess you are starting with the ministers. That's okay. Let's start with the ministers. But the MPs one is more interesting. So when I finish Chief of Staff, maybe I will switch to the MPs. Dr. Bawumia is going to vote for Dr. Bawumia. Madame Fremont-Opari is going to vote for Dr. Bawumia from what we know. He's working with him. He thinks that he's competent to be president. People who are speaking to him, she said it clearly that she's voting for Dr. Bawumia. Okay. Which minister is this? Please, they should tell. Which minister?
Deputy Chief of Staff.
Deputy Chief of Staffs are not part of it, Kweku. Let's get to the MPs. Chief of Staff is part of it. Okay, so the MPs are here. Thank you very much. Abena Osansari is a member of parliament for Etiwa constituency, Eastern region, and she will be casting her vote, no doubt, for Allan Kyerematen. Okay. This is Okaikwe Central constituency. My good friend Patrick Boama will be casting his vote for Allan Kyerematen. Okay. All right, let's move on. Hohoe constituency, Volta region, John Peter Mewu, and no doubt, John Peter Mewu will be casting his vote for Allan Kyerematen. Okay. Next one is Tema West constituency, and we are dealing with 137 members of parliament. And I'm telling you so far that these people are going to vote for Allan Kyerematen. 1, Abena Osasai, Patrick Boama. 2, John Peter Mewu. 3, they're all going to vote for Allan Kyerematen. Carlos Ahinkra is going to vote for Allan Kyerematen. So I'm showing you that Allan Kyerematen votes, okay? Carlos was deputy to Allan at Trade Minister. He liked the work Allan did. He's very enamored of Allan Kyerematen. I believe that he's going to vote for him. We may be wrong, it's subjective, but this is the reason why we're saying Carlos in particular will vote for Allan. Okay, let's move on. Subi constituency is Eugene Entry, my friend Eugene Entry. Well, Eugene's one is a 50-50. Well, it's a 60-40, I have to say. 60% of the research indicates to us that Eugene Entry is going to vote for Allan Kyerematen. 40% of the research is telling us that Eugene is changing. And we are not sure how he's going to. But where is he changing towards? They think he's changing towards Dr. Bawumia. So 40% Dr. Bawumia, 60% Allan Kyerematen. Eugene Entry, MP for Subi. Okay, let's move on. Ekropon constituency, Eastern region, Mami Dokuya is, we believe, going to vote for Allan Kyerematen as well. And then you have Asokwa constituency MP, Patricia Apieje, our mother, Patricia Apieje from Asokwa, is also going to vote for Allan Kyerematen. Mind you, we are dealing with 137, and we are isolating those that we think, from our research, will surely go for Allan Kyerematen. Okay, so that's Patricia Apieje. In Praiso constituency MP, Eastern region, we think he will also vote for Allan Kyerematen. Okay, let's move on. And then we have Lambusi constituency, Upper West region, Bright Baki Yelvi Baliji. We believe that he will also vote for Allan Kyerematen. Okay, you may hear tomorrow them saying that, what did Paul Ademochi say? My vote is secret. I've not decided who I'm going. You may hear all of those things coming up. But we know what we have seen, and we are guessing that they will vote for Allan Kyerematen. Of course, English Aman, he comes on Good Morning Ghana all the time. I watch him in the morning on Good Morning Ghana. He talks for Allan Kyerematen. So on the basis of that, we know that 100% his vote is for Allan. Okay. Then we have Cynthia Morrison, Central Region, Aguna West constituency. We suspect that he will also vote for Allan Kyerematen. All right. Then we have Anyaso Utom constituency, Greater Accra. We suspect that he will also vote for Allan Kyerematen. And then Takwa Nswayim MP, Western Region. This is Deputy Minister of Lands, Mreku Duka. We believe that he will also vote for Allan Kyerematen. Okay. Then we have Alexander Fenyo-Markin. That's the interesting bit. So our research on Alexander Fenyo-Markin told us that Alexander Fenyo-Markin is an establishment boy, no doubt about it. He's very close relations with the center, with Jubilee. Very, very close relations with Dr. Bawumia and all that. But they are suggesting to us that not that he thinks Kennedy Japan will win. No. Not that he wants Kennedy Japan to be presidential candidate as such. Maybe no. But he has this tie with Kennedy Japan that people think it will be really incongruous if Afenyo Markins one single vote out of 137, that he will not give it to Kennedy Japan, even though everybody knows where his. So as Afenyo Markin is, the suspicion is that his mind is different from his heart. And I don't know where the mind is and where the heart is, but it's a 50-50 between Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia. That's what we are finding out for Alexander Afenyo Markin. Is that not interesting? That sounds like very, very interesting. At 25 minutes at the top of that, at 10 o'clock, that's what is happening. And then Kennedy Japan himself will vote for Kennedy Japan. We know that already. He's a member of parliament, so he'll vote for Kennedy Japan. Is there any other one? This is Abura Asebu Kwaman constituency in the central region. We think that he will also vote for Kennedy Japan. That's what we are picking up, and we're dealing with 137 members of parliament. And then also Tano North constituency. This is the lady who is now a sanitation. This is Frida Prempe. Oh, I needed the names, so the names are not here. I need the names. Frida Prempe will also vote for, well, I was going to do this analysis last Thursday, and then I had Frida Prempe clearly going towards it's a Kennedy Japan, I think. But having been made Minister for Sanitation right now, people are suggesting to us that she just might change and go along with what people are saying in Parliament. Most of the 137, we understand, are going to vote for Dr. Bawumia anyway. Most of the 137 MPs are going to vote for Dr. Bawumia, except these 13 or 14 that we're isolating, that our research is telling us that they may not vote for Dr. Bawumia. Now, it is good for the NPP in terms of the diversity. And people have talked about how there is a lot of finger pointing and punishments for people who sort of go away from the center. It looks like the NPP center and the NPP soul is thinking Dr. Bawumia at least has a philosophy that is being shared by some of their elders. But those who do not support Dr. Bawumia are going about their work. Now, if you go all the way to the front where you have a Deputy Minister of Finance, Abna Osasare, who is a Deputy Minister of Finance. She was with Ken Oforiatta at the budget presentation the other day. But she also attended the walk for Allan Martin. I believe that for people in the NPP, they shouldn't see that as a negative. That's a big plus, really. It shows the diversity in the party. Nobody's harassing anybody. And when I was talking about this, somebody told me that, oh, you should have been at Peduasi the other day. President Akufo-Addo was teasing John Peter Amewu. And he said, JP, you are here. You are supporting Allan Martin. Has anybody done anything to you? And I heard Peter Amewu was laughing and said, Mr. President, no. And I hear JP told Mr. President, you also have to come on board and support Allan Martin because he's going to win. Apparently that erupted a lot of laughter at Peduasi and everybody was laughing. And the president said, no problem. You have more convincing to do for me and your colleagues. But JP is Allan Martin, sits in the cabinet. There's no problem. The president points out to him, he points back to the president that you should support our campaign. And everybody's laughing. That's a spirit of diversity. And that's working. Look at Alexander Afenyo Markin. He has a relationship with Kennedy Japan. He's not going to diss Kennedy Japan. I mean, maybe he will not. But there are 137 votes up for grabs. If he decides to show his loyalty by selecting Kennedy Japan for the process, that he's done his loyalty to his friend. So I like that, but not everyone likes that. But I like that. I think that is creating diversity. If all our political parties should allow people to have a freedom of expression within internal party politics, it's not a problem. If I think that I'm in the party and I think Allan Martin will win or he should be the elected candidate, it shouldn't mean that the president should not make me a minister. That is why people know that Frida Prempe is not on the Bawumia bandwagon, and I'm sure people went to the president when he was appointing her as sanitation minister and said that, but why are you appointing her? He's not a Bawumia person. Mr. President must have said, that's not the point. That's not the point. I mean, she can do the work, so put her there. John Peter Amewu is Minister for Railways. Nobody has sacked him. You know, people thought that, oh, once you show your face for another candidate, they'll sack you. I have to credit Akufo-Addo for that kind of tolerance. Often people say many things about Akufo-Addo, but you have to credit him for that kind of tolerance. Whereas he has announced that he's not supporting any candidate, he is not looking for anybody to punish because he supports one candidate or the other. Kennedy Japan is parliament. He still goes for meetings and all of that. So this is our take. It's quite interesting and quite controversial, isn't it? Yeah, this Frida Prempe I was talking to you about. Now here's Akwesi Akwa as well. Akwesi Akwa too, they said to us that Akwesi Akwa is the honorable member of parliament for Akimoda. But those of you who remember Akwesi Akwa, he was the eternal producer of Kwame Sefakai's Kokoroko on Peace FM's morning show. That's Akwesi Akwa. He produced, Sefakai made him quite popular because every morning he would say, Akwesi na we went, Akwesi Akwa we went, and all of that, and everybody got to know him. But he's a very diligent, very, very hard working guy, and I'm